Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the A&R NASCAR Cup Series Season 3. We have our pace car here, and we are here at Darlington, the track that is too tough to tame. This is the second to last race before the playoffs. So let's cut to Ryan and let's cut to the chase.
So here are the standings after Bristol heading into today. Ty Dillon is the points leader with 3 wins, so he automatically gets a playoff spot since he has at least 1 win. Ryan Blaney has decided a new tactic. Instead of winning one race and stinking the rest of the year and just getting in on that win, he's decided that he's going to actually do well the entire season. So he is second in points with 134. Eric Almirola with a 131-point cushion, as Joey Logano is fourth, just 2 points behind Almirola, and then Ryan Newman finishes off the top 5. Ryan Newman really turning his season around, as last year he was one of the worst drivers, as this year he's in the top 5, so really impressing his new team, Roush Fenway Racing. Kevin Harvick with a win. He's locked in at 119 points. He's 6th in the standings. Kyle Busch tied for 6th with Kevin Harvick. He doesn't have a win, though. And then there's Kyle Larson, Daniel Hemrick. Daniel Hemrick doing a very good job in his new ride, the 8. And then Eric Jones is inside the playoff picture. This would be his first playoff appearance if he were to do it. Austin Dillon turning things around, as he finished second to last year in the standings, but he is inside the top 16 in points. Jimmy Johnson, last week's winner, he is locked in, but he is now inside the top 16. So Jimmy Johnson will not miss the playoffs for the second season in a row. And then Brad Keselowski inside, just barely. And then Alex Bowman with a win as well is locked into the playoffs. And then the last driver on points to get in right now would be Bubba Wallace. Now, Kurt Busch is the 16th driver in, tied with Ricky Stenhouse and Martin Truex Jr. But because Daniel Suarez has a win, he's all automatically locked into the playoffs, so he jumps above Kurt Busch, Stenhouse, and Truex and takes the final playoff spot away from Kurt Busch, Stenhouse, or Truex Jr. So really be watching this playoff bubble right here, as Bubba Wallace, Brad Keselowski, Austin Dillon, the drivers above the cut line, are going to battle the ones to stay above, with Kurt Busch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Martin Truex Jr. Chase Elliott, Clint Bowyer, they're a little ways down. They would really have to have the last 2 great weeks, and the drivers above them have really bad weeks in order to get in on points. Really, I think the safest way for them right now is just to get a win. So Chase Elliott, Clint Bowyer need to win, and really for these guys, it's win. Absolutely, they have to win to get in. Paul Menard, William Byron, and Denny Hamlin.
We are under the lights here at Darlington. Our racers are all lined up. And we have Corey LaJoy on the sideline spectating, as well as Bubba Wallace's truck hauler. Here are the 2 cars. Our first matchup is Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin. If you haven't seen the previous 2 seasons, what happens is the cars go down, come to a straight, and then go to an overlapping turn. The outside lane is dominant because the outside lane gets a slingshot around the turn to the finish. Let's see who will win this first race in 3, 2, 1. And Jimmy Johnson stops short. Now then, for this race specifically, for previous races we've had it so that they get 3 attempts, and on the 3rd attempt, if nobody crosses the finish line, then it's whoever went the farthest. But because of how the track layout is, it's very easy for cars to run out of fuel long before the start-finish line, so they only get one attempt at the track. And in this case, Jimmy Johnson was the one that went the furthest, so he will be taking the victory even though he had not crossed the line yet.
Next we have Kurt Busch and Clint Bowyer. Kurt Busch finished second last week, and Clint Bowyer finished second to last. Now Clint Bowyer, a couple seasons ago, had the fastest car here, so we know he knows how to get around this track, but can he beat Kurt Busch? Let's see, in 3, 2, 1. I'd say that's a win. Well, Corey LaJoie gets attacked by Kurt Busch, as Kurt Busch didn't even make it through halfway through the turn. Clint Bowyer didn't even get off the pavement, but Clint Bowyer is going to take the victory.
Next up, we have Bubba Wallace Jr. and Joey Logano. Let's see how these two do. Bubba has the preferred line. Let's see who will win in 3, 2, 1. And Bubba Wallace will actually be the first to cross the start-finish line. And Joey Logano still on the pavement.
So 2 poor finishes in a row for Joey Logano. That's not really like Joey Logano, but he has plenty of cushion, so there's really not any worry of Joey Logano not making the playoffs at this point. But Bubba Wallace, a much-needed stage win, as he's fighting to stay inside the top 16 in points. And it looks as if we have an intruder in Darlington Raceway. I wonder how he got here. Well, I guess the pressure was just too much for him. Then next we have Ty Dillon and Kevin Harvick. 3, 2, 1. And Ty Dillon barely crosses the finish line. He will take the victory.
Next up, we have Austin Dillon and Daniel Suarez. Nearly said Hemrick. He's right there. Let's see how these two do up against each other in 3, 2, 1. And Austin Dillon just rockets through the track. Daniel Suarez got caught up where the track transition is, and Austin Dillon will take a flying victory.
Next we have teammates Eric Jones in the 20 and Martin Truex Jr. in the 19. In 3, 2, 1. Eric Jones will take the victory.
Next up, we have a couple of red and yellow cars. This one more so red than yellow, with Kyle Larson and Alex Bowman. Let's see how these two do in 3, 2, 1. A little bit closer of a race, but Kyle Larson will take the victory.
And next we have Daniel Hemrick in the 8 and Ryan Newman in the 6, both overachieving what was expected of them here in Season 3. Let's see which one outdoes the other in 3, 2, 1. Hemrick will take the victory from Newman.
Next up is the 17 and 18 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Busch. Let's see how these two do in 3, 2, 1. And Ricky Stenhouse will cross the line. And Kyle Busch is left in the dust.
And next we have Chase Elliott and Paul Menard. Both of these drivers pretty much in a must-win situation. Paul Menard for sure. Chase Elliott really right on the brink. These two, time is running out. If they're going to get a win to get into the playoffs, they have to do it either today or next week at Indianapolis. Time is running out. Let's see which one will win here in 3, 2, 1. Chase Elliott does not cross the line, but he will get the victory even though he slammed into the wall because he finished ahead of Menard.
Next up, we have the Penske teammates of the 2 of Brad Keselowski and the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Let's see how these two do in 3, 2, 1. And Brad Keselowski will take the victory.
And for the final matchup of stage number 1, we have the 10 of Eric Almirola along with the 24 of William Byron. In 3, 2, 1. Byron is the first driver in stage 1 to beat out the driver in the preferred line. So Almirola gets beaten out by the young one.
And now for the next race of for the first race of stage 2, we have a couple of Team Hendrick cars. We have Jimmy Johnson and William Byron. Let's see how these two do in 3, 2, 1. And Jimmy Johnson will take the victory.
And next we have Clint Boyer and Brad Keselowski. 3, 2, 1. And Clint Boyer's going to take the victory. Close race between who finishes ahead by a nose. Clint Boyer beats Brad Keselowski.
Next up, we have the 43 of Bubba Wallace Jr. and the 9 of Chase Elliott. Let's see how these two do. In 3, 2, 1. And Bubba Wallace will be taking the victory. Chase Elliott left behind.
And next we have Ty Dillon and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 3, 2, 1. Ty Dillon with the victory.
Next up, we have a couple of RCR cars racing up against each other. We have Austin Dillon in the number 3, and Daniel Hemrick in the number 8. Having two Daniels in the race gets a bit confusing. But let's see how they do. In fact, silver and gold in 3, 2, 1. And Austin Dillon hits the wall, but he will cross the line.
So, I guess silver beat out gold, just like in electrical conductivity. Alright, let's get back to racing and not science. In 3, 2, 1. Eric Jones will win.
Our next matchup is Jimmy the Juggernaut Johnson and Clint the unknown nickname Boyer. In 3, 2, 1, go. And Jimmy Johnson crosses the line, and Clint Boyer, still without a nickname, is only that far away from the track.
And next we have Bubba Wallace seeking his second career win and, more importantly, a secured spot in the playoffs. Ty Dillon obviously dominating this season so far. He just wants another win under his belt so that he can add that to his resume in 3, 2, 1. Bubba Wallace will beat out Ty Dillon. So Bubba Wallace, he does something that not many drivers can say they've done. Beat Ty Dillon.
Next up is Austin Dillon and Eric Jones. Let's see who wins this race in 3, 2, 1. Oh, Austin Dillon wrecks it, but he still came out further. He put a roadblock on Jones so he couldn't get past him. Kinda clever on his part, but he didn't cross the line. Fortunately for him, that doesn't matter.
Two spiffy-looking throwbacks here, a Richard Petty throwback, and then whatever the heck this throwback's supposed to mean. Jimmy Johnson versus Bubba Wallace. Jimmy Johnson trying to go back-to-backs to really secure his spot in the championship favorite talks. Really not would have expected that. And then Bubba Wallace, once again, as I said, seeking his second career win. First on a mile and a half, in 3, 2, 1. And Jimmy Johnson is going to win. He stopped right in front of Bubba Wallace, killing Bubba Wallace's momentum. Bubba Wallace just runs into the back of him, so Jimmy Johnson is going to be awarded the victory. I guess Jimmy Johnson learned something from Austin Dillon, which is if you're not going to have enough speed to go the farthest, just block your opponent, and I guess be a roadblock. I guess that's the motto around here. Be a roadblock.
These are your final 3 cars, and they are both All three of them are legends. We have Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty, and Jimmy Johnson. And if Jimmy Johnson had done a brake check on Bubba, then we would have had the ultimate showdown of the Intimidator versus the King. But alas, Bubba Wallace got eliminated. Here are your finalists. Is your final matchup. The White Flag Waves here at Darlington Motor Speedway in the A&R NASCAR Cup Series Season 3. These are your final two drivers, Jimmy Johnson and Austin Dillon. Let's see if Austin Dillon can get a second victory here. He won in Season 1 at this track. Or will Jimmy be taking that victory? In 3, 2, 1, green flag wave. A rather white flag. It was neck and neck. It was a neck and neck race. We'll have to go to the replay for that one. That was a photo finish.
And after reviewing the footage, Austin Dillon has grabbed the victory here at Darlington. Austin Dillon has 2 career wins, and they have both come at Darlington, so the phrase too tough to tame means absolutely nothing to Austin Dillon, because Austin Dillon knows exactly how to tame Darlington because he's done it 2 out of the 3 times that he's raced here. So congratulations to Austin Dillon. He now solidifies himself. Now he's no longer in the playoff picture on drivers to watch on the bubble, because really his points don't matter at this point, because he has a win. Because he has a win, he's already locked in. So Jimmy Johnson falls just short of back-to-back victories here in Season 3. But definitely Jimmy Johnson is one to watch for the championship now. Crazy that we would say that, because Jimmy Johnson has not had the best career in the A&R NASCAR Cup Series, but he is definitely showing speed every week here in Season 3. Bubba Wallace finishes 3rd for the 2nd consecutive week, so really good points. Bubba needed to stay above that cut line. Eric Jones also needed points to stay above the cut line. He did just that, getting him some points. Clint Boyer also a really good finish to help his playoff cause. Chase Elliott he had a good finish, but really a win is really what it's going to take right now to him to get in. An average finish for Brad Keselowski. He's going to need a little bit better than that just to stay above. Then William Byron, a win is all he's going to need. Here's the rest of the playoff picture, or the finishing order rather. Denny Hamlin, another last place finish. Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, really not the finishes they wanted either. But Austin Dillon with the win. Darlington, really, I guess Austin Dillon likes coming to Darlington because that's really the only place he shows speed. We don't know how he does it, but he does it. And he has won for the 2nd time in his career in that beautiful silver paint scheme. So yes, silver. Silver does beat gold. Again, I guess silver's better than gold. That is all from Darlington Raceway. Here in the A&R NASCAR Cup Series Season number 3. We will see you guys later.